Taijuan Walker up on the mound today for the Mariners, looking for the series sweep over the Kansas City Royals. And right away, no surprise, Escobar swinging to the first pitch, and Taijuan ahead 0-1.
And a good fastball from Taijuan at 95 miles an hour.
Taijuan making his 5th start. It's his 4th here at home this season. I've seen a lot of the Safeco Field mound early on. Coming off a 11 strikeout outing earlier on this homestand and a win against the Astros, tying a career best mark. Smith comes in the sunshine, and Seth is there to make the out. How about we take a look, Mike, at the Royals starting lineup?
Following Escobar, it'll be Mike Moustakas, the third baseman, leading the club with 7 home runs. Eric Hosmer, an 18-game hitting streak snapped in last night's ball game. And then you go all the way down to Gerard Dyson. He has a lot of speed. Want to keep him off the bases. The Kansas City Royals like to run, and he's a big part of it. So Taijuan Walker, a 1.44 ERA. 25 strikeouts, just 3 walks on the year for Taijuan. Impressive numbers. Their opponents hitting just .223 against him.
Now facing Moustakas, comes home with the first pitch curveball. Moustakas an all-star last season. Taijuan making his 2nd career start against Kansas City. His only other start came back in September of 2013. And for Taijuan, a very young pitcher, even younger than he is now in that start. That was the 2nd time that Taijuan had ever taken a major league mound. It was right after his major league debut the last time that he saw Kansas City. Moustakas trying to fight the shift. Instead, it's a 2-2 count. Taijuan now 23 years old, out of Yucaipa, California. Former 1st-round draft pick by the Mariners. Coming off a phenomenal month of April, a 1.44 ERA. Been a rough go for the Royals lately. They've been shut out in back-to-back games. Little squibber. Sardinius getting the start at second base. Cano DHing. And there is out number 2.
Take a look at the defense, brought to you by American Family Insurance. Seth Smith, normally in right, he'll play left field today. Aoki getting the afternoon off. Nelson Cruz is in right. And as Aaron just pointed out, Luis Sardinius will get the start at second base. Chris Iannetta, after catching last night, will catch the day game.
2 up, 2 down for Taijuan Walker. His first ground ball out, something that we have seen a lot of early on this season from Taijuan Walker. First pitch strike to Lorenzo Cain. And it seems like, Mike, right away Taijuan's got some good velocity working early here today.
Yeah, we've already seen 95 a number of times. And if you look at it, the Moustakas at bat was a good example of what he's been able to do this year. Falls behind 2-0, throws him a fastball, he swings through it and misses it completely. Then when he finally puts it in play, 3-2, it's on his thumbs, weak ground ball. Good first inning for Taijuan.
3 pitches to Cain. It ends on a weak wave and a miss. 3 up, 3 down. It'll be Ketel Marte leading things off for the Mariners. Seth Smith, Devano, and then Robbie Cano as we go to the bottom of the 1st inning. The King, Felix Hernandez, he's the one who got these shutouts going for the Mariners in Game 1, 7 2/3 scoreless for Felix, his 145th career win. As now we take a look, Mike, at the Mariners starting lineup.
And Seth Smith has been swinging the bat well. 292 hitter against Ian Kennedy. Take a look at what Marte has done on the homestand. 421, a couple of RBIs for him. Nelson Cruz last night, 2 walks, was hit twice. Did not have a plate appearance in last night's ball game. He will be hitting cleanup today. Kyle Seager, 2 for 3 with a home run in last night's game. 3 RBIs. And for Kennedy, 2-2 record, a 2.77 ERA, 23 strikeouts to 9 walks. Opponents hitting 220. He's given up 3 home runs this year.
Kennedy coming off a rough start, facing Marte as the corners pinch in, and it's ball 1.
And we just showed you 421 batting average for Marte on the homestand. That pushes his overall average to 278. It's been a lot of fun seeing him run the bases.
Well, it further underscores the message to Marte, his value to this team if he can just get to first base.
A lot of speed. They're going to try to create some runs, and he will be a big part of that over the summer.
Weak ground ball to Infante, and a routine out number 1.
We'll take a look at the defense. In center field, you have Lorenzo Cain. A lot of speed in right field with Dyson, so they'll cover a lot of ground in the outfield. And we're going to see Salvador Perez also has caught both games, including last night. He'll be back behind the plate. Defensive setup brought to you by American Family Insurance.
Seth Smith, 5 for his last 15, a 4-game hitting streak. He's homered in back-to-back ball games. Chance to do something today that he has never done. That is homer in 3 consecutive games. In fact, homering in back-to-back games, nothing new for Smith. He's now done it 10 times in his career, and he's been pretty consistent at it. In fact, he's done it now 3 seasons in a row. Try to check the swing instead of strike. Kennedy coming off a loss, 6 innings on Monday in Anaheim. A season high 5 runs, a season high 7 hits, and a season high 4 walks. Really ballooned the early season numbers for Kennedy. His first year with Kansas City, coming over as a free agent. In fact, Kennedy has been in the big leagues now for 10 years. He's made over 200 starts. Today is only his 3rd against the Mariners. His first 2 came last year with San Diego. Into center field, drop in, and it will fall in for a base hit. 5-game hitting streak for Smith.
On a breaking ball, it'll be in on his hands. See the slow curveball at 77. He fights it off into center field. He has been a hot hitter, and it's one of the reasons why he's in the lineup today in left field. Scott Service, as Robinson Cano stepping in as the DH, they wanted to give him a day off of his feet, and still trying to find a way to keep all these guys in the lineup. And Seth going to left field, Aoki getting the day off. We saw
Aoki get Wednesday off as well, so some extended rest for Aoki. Well, that hit from Smith, Mike, is a little notable from the standpoint, even though Kennedy is a right-hander, he's had really good success this year against left-handed hitters. Left-handed hitters like Cano, like Smith, barely hitting above 150 against him. Good changeup, good curveball.
Good movement on his fastball. He can sink it, keep it on the ground.
What a month of April for Robinson Cano. 8 homers, 24 RBIs. And this is the spot you want to be in Seattle today. You cannot ask for a more picture perfect afternoon here at Safeco Field. 66 degrees at first pitch. Last year, Kennedy got off to a slow start with the Padres, was bothered by a hamstring injury. He shaved almost exactly a run off his ERA over his final 16 starts. First 14 had an ERA pushing 5. As now time is called. Mariners have won 5 consecutive series. Looking for a sweep today at Kansas City. Two and two. And as we turn the page to May now, Mike, Scott Service, Jerry Dipoto, they have got to be awfully pleased from an offensive standpoint. The hits have not always come in bunches for the Mariners, and yet 13 and 10, tied for 5th in the league in runs scored, tied with the Blue Jays, a team that you would think would be right near the top. And if you look at this April versus April from a season ago, well, the strikeouts are down by over 20. The walks are up by nearly 30 from this April to last.
Yeah, I think for him, he'd like to see them hit for a better average. I think he believes that they're going to as the summer moves on. But there are some numbers offensively that you have to like. They're 2nd in home runs. You mentioned the walks are 3rd in the league in walks right now. But the most important thing of all of it is they're 5th in runs scored. With the way that they've been pitching and the way that they're capable of playing defense, if they stay in that area, 5th, they scored 100 runs in April. If they stay in 5th, they're going to be in pretty good shape. And I think for them, hitting for a little bit of higher average, on base percentage, they're 7th in the league, but they're 20 points higher than they were last year at the end of April.
It's an over 20 run improvement from this year's April to last year's April. Count still 2-2 to Cano. He's got Smith at first base after the 1-out single. Barreled up center field. Kane able to track it, curl, and then make the catch.
And this is something else that we've seen a lot of throughout the homestand, especially as hitters seeing a lot of pitches. That was the 7th pitch of that at bat for Cano. The starters have had from the opposing teams have really had to work hard.
And you mentioned the batting average. This is something that Jerry Dipoto talked about a little bit earlier today. He's well aware of the Mariners' batting average of balls in play. Right now it's a .251. Only one team with a lower average of balls in play, and that's the Angels at .249.
And for those of you that don't know, that means that they've hit into some bad luck. He expects that to turn around.
First pitch strike to Cruz. You have to figure it would, especially the start for Kyle Seager, who has squared up a number of pitches with not a whole lot to show for it at times.
Well, that's why it was good to see Kyle get a couple of hits in yesterday's game, including the 3-run homer. For Kyle, that was his 5th home run of the year.
1 ball and 1 strike to Nelson. As Mike was mentioning earlier, Nelly in last night's game reached base 4 times without a hit. He walked twice. He was hit by 2 pitches. He scored a run and he drove in a run without an official at bat. Not an easy thing to do. In fact, for Cruz, he became just the 5th Mariner hitter in franchise history to walk 4 times and drive in a run without an at bat. You would never guess the last guy to do it, Brendan Ryan, who walked 4 times in one game and happened to draw one with the bases full.
What year was that?
It was back in, I believe, Mike, in 2013. A hot stretch for Brendan.
There you go.
Smith, the man at first base, a 1-out single. In fact, last year in all of baseball, there was only one hitter who one time all last year reached base 4 times without an at-bat and drove in a run. It happened to be the National League MVP last year, Bryce Harper, who actually scored 4 runs when he was walked 4 times. Count still 1-2 to Cruz.
And this next pitch will be 20 for Kennedy. Again, something we're getting used to seeing from starting pitching, especially early in ball games. 19 pitches, 14 strikes. Last night the Mariners sent 7 to the plate in the first inning. They scored 4 runs.
on a couple of homers, Smith and Seager. Got him looking, boy, borderline pitch there. And Cruz having a conversation with DJ Rayburn, the home plate umpire. We're through an inning, scoreless between the Mariners and Royals. Back and look at the final at bat of the top of the first. Walker versus Lorenzo Cain. You're not going to find a sequence of 3 pitches much better.
Oh, he's their best player. You can see a spotted fastball to get ahead. Then he'll come back with the curveball and puts him away with the split change. A weak swing from Cain, so he saw a little bit of everything right there.
Well, from one pitch to the next, when you can subtract 20 miles an hour off one pitch to the other, the fastball to the curveball, and get both in for strikes.
And his fastball is a plus fastball. Taijuan, 12 pitches in the first inning, 8 strikes. First pitch strikes to 2 of the 3 batters he faced.
Eric Hosmer leads off the top of the second for the Royals. Checks a swing. And that did get ruled a strike. He went around, says DJ Rayburn.
It's great to see Wade Miley have the game that he had last night. You look at this rotation now. Nathan Carnes, his last outing, his best. Really commanded the strike zone. Had a very good curveball. Certainly has the ability to strike hitters out. Iwakuma doing his thing. But you look at the rotation, and at the end of April, you have Felix Hernandez 3rd in ERA at a 1.38, and Taijuan is 4th, right behind him at a 1.44. A couple of dominating months right there.
Now you're right. Look at how that squares up around the American League. Jordan Zimmerman of the Tigers, his first year in Detroit, having an unreal April in ERA. Some pocket change, 0.55 for Zimmerman, but then Stephen Wright of the Red Sox, the knuckleballer, and then Felix and Taijuan. Now we're seeing Taijuan really attack upstairs to Hosmer in this at bat. Here comes his 3-2. Hosmer had his career best 18-game hitting streak come to a close last night. Finished 0 for 4. That was the longest streak. It is the longest streak in baseball this year. Also, he had his consecutive games reaching base streak in and ended at 30 games dating back to last season. Got him looking.
And that is a perfect pitch. 95 miles an hour right on the inside corner. Hosmer doesn't like it, but it looked like it was perfect. Take a look at it. Nice job by Iannetta to hold it there for DJ Rayburn, the home plate umpire. By the way, DJ Rayburn, we're talking about Cruz, was not happy with a couple of the calls, and Cruz may have been right about it, so he was letting DJ Rayburn know, and I liked what DJ did. He said something quickly to Cruz and then walked away from him. See it so many times, the arguments, and then the umpires end up throwing players out. I thought it was very well done, a professional job by DJ Rayburn in the first inning.
And add to that, Rayburn, a relatively young umpire, did not become a full-time major league umpire until 2014. Well, for the Royals, this has been a rough time in terms of scoring. 27 consecutive scoreless innings. That includes the first against Taiwan here today. They've been shut out in back-to-back games. They've lost 5 in a row. And if they fall today, this will mean a winless road trip.
Last time they scored a run was on Wednesday. It was the first inning home run by Hosmer.
Been a while.
Yeah.
And Yost probably not panicking too much overall.
As you watch Taiwan today, a couple of things to keep in mind. One, his last outing, he threw 118 pitches. I would not be surprised if Scott Service limits him a little bit today, takes him out maybe when he gets to around 100. And the other thing, which is a good problem to have, because the starting pitching has been so good and so dominant, Felix won 7 2/3, of course, Miley the whole way. He has to get some of these relievers in a ball game.
Last 3 days, the Mariners bullpen as a group has logged an inning and a third.
Nice rest for him. Time to get in the game.
Granted, one of those days an off day, but bullpen phone's been pretty quiet. And the way Taiwan's been pitching, most of those guys know that they'll be getting today off as well. Morales staying alive.
A couple of long at bats. Hosmer 8 pitches, and now this will be the 9th pitch to Morales.
Again, the 3-2. Line into right field as Cruz stays at his tracks for round number 2. Wear what the pros wear. Friday, May 13th is Mariners replica Sox night when the Mariners meet the Angels. The first 20,000 fans pick up a pair of striped socks that look just like the ones the Mariners wear on the field. So visit mariners.com for tickets. Pretty close to what you see there from Taiwan, wearing the socks pulled up high, now facing Alex Gordon. Count evens up 1-1. They have the shift on for Gordon. Batting just over 200 to start the year. Royals have lost each of their last 7 games away from Kauffman Stadium. And Yost, the winningest manager in Royals history. Royals winning the pennant back-to-back years, winning the World Series last season. And interesting the way the schedule worked out. Kansas City opened this year against the Mets. As that hits Gordon, so he was hit last night in his final plate appearance, and he's hit here today in his first. And that snaps 13 batters in a row retired from Taijuan Walker, dating back to his last start.
Take a look and see if we can see where it gets him. Maybe a piece of the back leg. Off speed pitch, just 89 miles an hour, like his changeup.
Off the bat of Salvador Perez, and it's over Sardinas's reach. Gordon puts on the Jets, hustles into third. He gets the stop sign there. Perez jumping on the first pitch. And with 2 outs, the Royals suddenly have runners on the corners.
He's able to jam him with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's just enough of it to get it into the outfield.
Now, it's not as though the Royals have not had runners at second or third base. They're 0 for 12 in this series with runners in scoring position. That being said, Miley last night limited them, Mike, 0 for 1.
Not many opportunities. One at bat with a runner in scoring position. Kansas City on the year hitting just 200 runners in scoring position.
2 outs, 2 on, top of the second. And a first pitch missing to Omar Infante, the number 8 hitting second baseman for Kansas City. Infante this time last year was looking like he'd be an all-star, as every man, woman, and child in Kansas City voted, I'm going to guess, about 25 times for every Royal possible for the all-star team. It created a little bit of a stir in the voting community, made for some fun discussions. Here comes Martin charging in, and nobody can get to it. Gordon scores. Perez into third base. With 2 outs, the scoreless streak ends at 26 innings for Kansas City. They get their first run of the series.
And it was on a hit batter and a couple of jam shots. This one again, Infante jammed. A little flare into right center field. You know how high that pitch is.
First time the Royals have led the Mariners in this series. Of course, their first run now facing Jarrod Dyson. Now, Dyson's claim to fame, he is the only active player in the majors to be drafted in a round that no longer exists. He was a former 50th round draft pick by Kansas City. Dyson for many years until now has been an extra outfielder, a pinch runner for the Royals, but this year getting much more playing time despite starting the year on the disabled list. Had an oblique strain he suffered in spring training. Played in only 10 games since coming back healthy. He takes a spot in right field for Alex Rios. Rios, by the way, has not retired. Multiple reports have said the Rios has been given some offers by major league teams, but he is not happy with the role that he'd be given with those offers, so he is still out there, hoping to find some place to work. In play to Marte. And a casual toss to Sardinas. A run in and 2 left for the Royals as we're through an inning and a half on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon from Safeco Field. Osvaldo Alonso from across the street. The Sounders throwing out today's ceremonial first pitch. Mike, pitch effects, the good people there charting that pitch, 68 miles an hour.
Brushing back the left-handed hitter.
You're right about that.
Looked like he had a two-seamer going.
Nice way to get this one going today. Alonso from Cuba. Adam Lynn leads off the Mariners second. An interesting, Mike, to see how the Royals are playing Lynn here.
Yep, you can see the center fielder Kane shading towards the left center, expecting him to hit it the other way in the air.
No shift on for Lynn. Escobar near the bag at second, but not all the way on the other side. One and two. Now Kennedy's got some Pac-12 roots or Pac-10 roots from at the time. A former first-round draft pick out of USC, taken 21st overall by the Yankees in '06. Little tapper foul. Salvador Perez, as he always is behind home plate for Kansas City. Never a day off, it seems like, for Perez. Kennedy broke in with the Yankees 3 years to begin his big league career, then transitioned to the National League. Rushes Lynn back 2-2. Kennedy parts of 3 years with the Diamondbacks, then on to San Diego. And the Padres rotation for 3 seasons. Big swing and a miss, went up top with it. And for Kennedy, his second strikeout. 1 up, 1 down for Kyle Seager. Well, your bobblehead lineup is about to get a lot stronger. That's because Saturday, May 14th, is Kyle Seager bobblehead night, and this year's collectible shows off the third baseman's sweet swing. It's free to the first 20,000 fans, courtesy of Root Sports. Tickets, as always, at Mariners.com. One out, nobody on for Seager. Last night, Mike, a strong night for Seager. 3 RBIs. He scored twice. He reached 3 times, and the big swing, the 3-run homer in the first.
Yeah, the home run was great to see. And his 5th home run on the year. You can see he has 13 RBIs. He also had a base hit into left field, which I was more encouraged about with Kyle. He's been hitting the ball the other way, especially over the last week, but hasn't had any luck. And he finally hit a line drive that way and picked up a base hit.
Does that tell you anything about his swing when you see him going the opposite way?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of clubs that are obviously going to pitch Kyle away. His power is to right field, and I think for him, batting average wise, he's going to have to hit the ball the other way more often because that's the way they're going to pitch him. And he's certainly aware of that, and he's been doing it. Unfortunately, he's hit a couple of line drives right at the third baseman, who had been the only one on that side of the infield. A few ground balls, same thing.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Seager. Infante deep in the grass in right field. The opposite way. Gordon angling back and able to snare it for the catch.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. He hits it right on the button. Unfortunately, the Gold Glover able to run it down in left field. But a good swing on a curveball. Slow curveball. And they hit the ball with authority the other way. You have to let it travel, get a little bit deeper in the strike zone, and Kyle did exactly what you want to do. Unfortunately, Gordon was able to run it down.
Gordon, number 2 overall pick in the draft many years ago, drafted as a third baseman. Things did not work out on the hot corner, made the transition into left field, and as Mike said, has basically locked up the Gold Glove every year since. Two up, 2 down for Chris Iannetta. Kennedy really had some rough years in San Diego. If you look at his numbers with the Padres, he had an ERA pushing about 4 1/4 during his time with the Padres. Petco Park, very pitcher friendly. Also consider the fact National League, no DH. And he's part of a rotation for the Royals this year that a lot of people raising their eyebrows, wondering if this would be a good enough rotation to get the Royals back to similar success that they've had in recent years, even with as strong of a bullpen as they have, and one of the best in baseball the last few seasons. Off to a very strong start this year, though. Jason Vargas out for the season, had Tommy John late in last year. Vargas, former Mariner. A fantastic changeup. Another former Mariner, Chris Young, in the Royals rotation. We will not see him in this series. Today, the finale. Still 2-2. Now, Jerry Dipoto saying earlier today that this is the Chris Iannetta that he remembers from their time together in Anaheim last year. A very tough season for Iannetta, especially offensively. Strike 3 called. Borderline pitch again. Kennedy's got those calls over the first couple of innings as he strikes out 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced. The Royals lead the Mariners 1-0. Distraction occurs anytime you take your eyes off the road. If you're texting, you're not driving. Let's reach our target zero goal together. 0 traffic deaths in your family, 0 traffic deaths in our state. Good look of the bowels of the I-90 bridge. Look at east as we look to go to the top of the 3rd here. Mariners trailing by a run. Picture perfect day from Safeco Field. Taiwan starts Escobar off with strike 1.
For Taiwan, threw just 12 pitches in the first inning, but in the second inning he ended up throwing 31 pitches. So hopefully he'll have a quick inning here, take care of his pitch count. Missed with that curveball.
The opposite way. Cruz having to track it down towards the corner. Escobar into second base. And he's in there easily. Well, time now for our CenturyLink What's Next. The Mariners hitting the road after this one today. Taking on the Oakland A's from the Coliseum. Nathan Karns trying to build off a fantastic start. His best in a Mariners uniform. He's taking on Kendall Graveman. Iwakuma going up against, not the opening day starter this year, but usually the opening day starter. Sonny Gray was ill. Their ace, the right-hander, former first-round draft pick, and then the king, Felix Hernandez, taking on Sean Manaea in his second career start. Manaea was acquired from the Royals, former Royals prospect, and the Benzobrist deal. Nothing in 1-2 Moustakas. Now, speaking of Sean Manaea, who, as we mentioned, just made his major league debut the other day, very young pitcher for the Oakland A's, it brings into light the youth of Taijuan Walker. He's the 6th youngest pitcher to make a start this year in the American League, and 3 of the other 5, Mike, just recently made their major league debut. Taijuan Walker, 23 years old. He's got over 40 starts already in the big leagues.
Yeah, bright future for him, and what a difference it's made watching him go through the second half of last year, the way he has started this year, just the confidence in which he's going about his business.
Taijuan trying to work around a leadoff double to Escobar. Outside to make it 2-2. Moustakas, one of many first-round draft picks for the Royals, who have panned out and have helped make this Kansas City club what it is today. Soft ground ball. Walker will handle it himself, and the not so common one unassisted putout. Meanwhile, Escobar will make his way to third base, 1 out. Taijuan trying to do to Lorenzo Cain what he did in his first at bat. Fastball, curveball, changeup, 3 pitches, all strikes, and it resulted in a little bit of a half-hearted flailing swing from Cain, an all-star last season. And if it wasn't for Kevin Kiermaier of the Rays, Cain would probably have a Gold Glove on his mantle.
I like what Kyle Seager just did. Taijuan running all the way over to first base, fielding his position and taking it there himself. And when he worked his way back to the mound, instead of letting him jump right back up there and start throwing pitches again, Kyle came over and slowed him down a little bit, gave him a chance to catch his breath.
One and one. Something like that, Mike, is somebody who played the position, something that you pick up watching other people. That's kind of one of the more advanced things, the little things you'd think of.
Yeah, it's just being aware, and I think you have to have some experience to think about those things. But Kyle obviously has it now, and just with time and experience, you understand what's going on. It takes a few seconds. Go in there, kick the rosin bag around a little bit. Tell Taijuan what a good play he just made.
Tell him he didn't look like a pitcher.
Yeah, which he doesn't. He's a tremendous athlete.
Three and one. You ever do that with Randy Johnson, Mike?
No.
Just didn't need to?
Didn't need to.
Right back up the middle for a base hit. Cain drives in a run, and the Royals now lead 2-0. And leadoff double comes around to score.
96 miles an hour on the inside corner, and he jams him. Probably breaks his bat. It's a little soft line drive. Right back up the middle, finds a hole. So if you look at Taijuan, he's given up 2 runs so far. A hit batter, 2 jam shots, was a run in the second, and now that one. Having some tough luck this afternoon.
One out, one on, facing Eric Hosmer. You know, Mike, getting back to Randy for a second. just from an outsider's point of view, even if I was wearing the same uniform as him, I don't think I'd want to get within a 10-foot halo of the mound.
You probably would. Yeah, that would be a good move on your part.
Hosmer pops it up. Marte giving away now to Seth Smith. Now number 2.
We're talking about Taiwan running all the way over to first base. I don't know that I remember Randy doing that except for one time. And Randy, being left-handed, would normally fall off to the third base side, so the opportunity wasn't there for him a lot. But when I was playing with Oakland, I ended up getting a base hit off of Randy, and he'd thrown a pitch that I can remember. And I was standing probably about where Kane is right now, maybe a foot or two off the bag at first. Had my head down, chit-chatting away, and I look up and Randy was sprinting towards me like he was going to tag me out. And I looked up, and it startled me at first. And I put my foot back on the bag, and then Randy, is the first time I've ever seen him out on the mound laughing. He thought it was hysterical.
Not the guy you want running right after you.
No.
Taiwan falls behind 2-0 to Morales. Morales flew out to right field his last time up and made Taiwan expend 9 pitches in the process. Line drive, late skip. Gobbled up by the belly of Sardinius. Out number 3. Another run in for the Royals. They've scored in back-to-back innings. They lead it 2-0. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at safeco.com. By CHI Franciscan Health, the Mariners' official partners in health. Learn to stay Northwest healthy at nwhealthy.org. And by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. Good look at the Yesler Street overpass on a gorgeous day here from downtown Seattle. It'll be Leonis Martin to lead off, showing bunt, looking at a strike. And you can hear Martin thinking that pitch was outside, just caught the edge. And it's 0-2. Now the average not where Martin would like it. The power number is certainly up. 4 home runs, the most he's ever hit in any single month of his career.
This is the 24th game for the Mariners this year, and you're talking about his average. The one thing with Martin that I've seen this year is how it's fluctuated. He's gone from 190 to 250, back down to 200, back up to 250. I think at the end of the year, if he is in that 250 range with some of the pop that he provides, but more importantly, the way that he has played center field, I think everybody would be happy with that. It'd probably be double-digit stolen bases. I think that is something that everybody would be pleased with.
Last year, his steal numbers were way down. Of course, played a somewhat abbreviated season with the broken hamate bone. And he's down swinging, 1 out. Kennedy's had a binge of strikeouts here as he struck out 4 of the last now 5 hitters that he's faced. Hope you can stick around after this one's over with for Mariners post game presented by Delta Airlines. Before Scott Service gets off the team plane, he'll be sure to have a chat with the media. His reactions from following this series finale against Kansas City.
Mentioned the strikeouts with Kennedy. One of the things that is apparent right away is he's going to pitch away quite a bit, especially to the left-handers. He has a good fastball today. He's been 93, and he's really done a good job on the outside corner. Some of those pitches borderline. He's been able to get the call from DJ Rayburn, helping him out a little bit, but I think his command has been really good here in the early going.
The 1-0 to Sardinez. On the ground, backhand stab by Escobar, and in time for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down as Kennedy has seen the starting 9 one time through. It's back to the top to Ketel Marte.
Seeing Sardinez getting the start out at second base. It goes unnoticed a lot of times, but that was a really good play that he made on that last out. Out at second base, the one hopper right to him. We talked about the shifts. He's playing deep. Probably not as familiar as Cano is now because Cano obviously is out there every day. But the way that he stayed in front of that, and you mentioned it, catching it in his stomach. Didn't try to get off to the side, have it clank off of his glove. Just stayed in front of it and made the play. Made it look routine because he did it the right way.
Now Scott Service loves his instincts, especially defensively. Marte calls for time. One ball and 1 strike.
And again, you can see the first 2 pitches trying to work the outside corner.
Mariners down 2-0 early here today. They've won 8 of their last 10. The Mariners have won 11 of their last 15. All of this on the heels of that 5-game losing streak for Daeho Lee's walk-off home run to end the previous homestand. Inside 2-2. Really seemed like, Mike, in the first half of April, it was the bullpen that many nights was picking up the rotation, working some longer innings, some longer nights rather, multiple innings for the bullpen. But of course, recently a lot of the success coming from the rotation,
which has been good to see, to give those guys a little bit of a break out there. But you're getting to the point, because they've been pitching so deep into the games, that they need to get some work, and that may happen today because Taijuan and his pitch count's getting up there on. He's already over 60 pitches, so a couple of the guys will get a chance to get into this game today. But you're right, Aaron. The bullpen was throwing a lot over the course of the first 2 weeks. And a lot of times coming out of spring training, they expect that, especially the first time through, because all the starters are going to be somewhat limited.
Marte, nice plate appearance, reaches with 2 outs, draws the walk. First walk tonight from Kennedy.
Oh, take a look at what the hitters have done lately. You see the last 9 games, the average at 252. With runners in scoring position right at 250. They'll take that throughout the year. But look at the home runs. 15 home runs, 43 walks, and the runs per game, almost 6 runs a game. That will work.
Strikeout walk numbers fantastic over the last 9. Seth Smith, the big reason why. 2 outs Marte with good speed at first base for Smith, who dropped a single into center field his first time up.
So far the only hit for the Mariners this afternoon.
After that 3-city 9-game road trip, it feels like we've barely been home. And then it's back onto the road after this one's over with today.
I can tell you why, Aaron. Because we've barely been home.
Analysis, Mike. Some of your best work.
I'm telling you. Just enough time to get the dry cleaning done and back out they go again.
Isn't that the truth? This next road trip for the Mariners a week long. 3 games in Oakland and 4 games in Houston. So the trend continues. A lot of intra-division games for the Mariners in the first month and a half.
Well, a lot of games on the road. You look at the first 40 games they have. It was a tough schedule. We talked about that at the end of spring training. So I think you have to be pleased with where the Mariners are as far as their position goes. Started today a half a game back of Texas. 3 games over 500. Playing some good baseball, and they continue to win series.
And they've won 5 straight series regardless of what happens here today. Taking the first 2 against Kansas City, shutting the Royals out both times. Marte, the man at first base with 2 outs. Moustakas, the only man on the left side in the coach's box for round number 3. Marte left stranded. We have 3 innings in the books on a gorgeous day from Safeco Field. Royals have a 2-0 lead. Two-0 Kansas City as we go to the top of the 4th, and we'll take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Train. As we were just talking about, the Mariners wrapping up the homestand here today, and then it's off to the Bay Area. 3 games against the A's. That'll be a Wednesday day game from the Coliseum, and then hopefully not too late of an arrival in Houston. The Mariners a 4-game weekend series there against Houston. The Astros right now 7-17. They have still not won back-to-back games on the season. Mariners will come back home, score up against Tampa Bay before then a day off. Only team with fewer wins in baseball right now than the Astros, the Atlanta Braves, who are 5-18 as they start the month of May. First pitch strike to Gordon. And Taiwan quickly ahead 0-2. Taiwan already over 60 pitches. Gordon retired on 3 pitches. That's the second time that Taiwan has struck out a batter using just 3 offerings. And the same Lorenzo Cain to the first. 1-0 One up, one down for Salvador Perez.
Perez with a base hit. His first time up was jammed. A flare into right center field.
Like we've talked about this before, but it seems like for Taijuan, even more so than your typical pitcher, if he can get ahead with strike one, it changes the complexion of the at bat, and it tilts things in his favor to such an extreme extent. As he now falls behind 3-0. This season, after he gets ahead with strike one, opponents are batting .089. They're 4 for 45 against Taijuan Walker.
Well, you're right. That's something that he was exceptional at. Boy, oh boy.
Smith sliding, had to play it on a hop. Came up and got him. So Perez is second in. He drops it in to shallow left. Well, just like the Mariners, our youngest fans can swing for the fences. That's because on Sunday, May 15th, all kids 14 and under will pick up a playground bat and ball set. It's all part of Aquafina Little League Day at Safeco Field. So visit Mariners.com for tickets.
For the Royals, they have a couple of runs, 5 hits, and 4 of the 5 hits have been off the thumbs. Taijuan's had a good fastball today, and he's able to jam him, but unfortunately, finding some outfield grass today.
1 out, 1 on, facing Infante. As we've talked about the evolution of Taijuan Walker since his days coming up a few years ago, that's really been something we've seen him do a much better job of, pitching inside.
He pitches inside with authority, and he'll do it throughout the game, and it doesn't matter. And I think the thing that it does for him, you mentioned it, he's able to get ahead. As a hitter, you're aware of the fact that he's going to pitch inside, and it's going to be 95 plus, so you have to be aware of that. And then all of a sudden he drops that split change or the curveball on you, and you're in trouble, especially if it's in the dirt. So makes it's a difficult thing. And watching him this year, it's by design. It's the way that he wants to pitch, and I think it's perfect. And I think it's something that Mel Stottlemyre is talking about, using his fastball, pitching inside, make guys uncomfortable. He's not trying to hit anybody, but you move him around.
Like anything else in this game, it's really seemed to be a mindset for Taijuan. That's been the difference.
I would agree. And I think again, you get to a point where you're more comfortable, and you mentioned it earlier, and let's not forget he's only 23 years old. It takes a little bit of time, and I think he figured that out last year. If you go back to his April last year and the struggles he had, a lot of it was runners on base, and batting average were 400, and he made an adjustment because he had to.
Sardinez has no throw to first base.
And a big part of that is pitching inside and having the confidence to do it. Weak ground ball out to Marte. You see him charging it, gets rid of it quickly, and a smart play by Sardinez at second base. Did not have a chance to turn it with Infante running, so he ended up not throwing the ball.
Two outs, Infante at first base, and the number 9 hitter, right fielder Gerard Dyson, a fielder's choice his last time up. On a drop a bunt down, strike one. The glove for a strike. Royals grab the run of the second, RBI single by Infante. A run of the third, an RBI single by Kane into center field. Next pitch will be number 75 for Taijuan with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Seems like, Mike, when we see 86 these days from Taijuan, is that trying to be the slider?
it's hard to tell. I think a slider would be normally around 90, 91 with the way that Taijuan has been throwing it, but he's working on taking a little bit off to get that downward tilt. And so sometimes it's difficult to see the difference.
Off the chest and a low flip. Marte able to clean it up. A runner left for the Royals as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Mariners trying to get 2 more runs to tie things up. Cano, Cruz, and Adam Lind all due up for the Mariners. Now for our Columbia Bank difference of the game. Couple of runs in for the Royals. Mike on 2 fairly innocent singles.
Now Taijuan was able to make the pitches he wanted, was able to jam a couple of the hitters. That one was Infante as he drives in a run. And then here again with Lorenzo Cain, you can see just a soft line drive back up the middle. It's been a little bit unfortunate today. The Royals with 5 base hits, 4 of them jam shots, but they all count. He's down 2-0.
Cano leads off the Mariners' 4th inning, down by 2.
So I was going to say, and so far Ian Kennedy on the other side of it has really been in command today. 93-mile-an-hour fastball again, pitching the left-handers away, trying to hit the outside corner like that last pitch.
Well, we mentioned it early on. Kennedy holding down left-handed hitters to a 162 average over his first 4 starts, and we're seeing part of the reason why here today. Little flare. Moustakas lowers his head, goes racing after it, can't get it. And the Mariners pick up a hit against Kennedy.
That was on the changeup, 83 miles an hour. Right on the outside corner and at the knees, and he dumped it into left field.
Just the 2nd hit today for the Mariners. Both have been kind of airdropped into the outfield. It was Smith into center field back in the 1st. This time Cano to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Swinging strike from Nelson Cruz.
One of the few sliders we've seen from Kennedy today. Nelson called out on strikes in his first at bat back in the 1st inning. They were all fastballs away from him. He was not happy with a couple of the calls. Let DJ Rayburn, the home plate umpire, know about it. And now it's back-to-back sliders.
That slider cutter from Kennedy, a pitch that he uses almost exclusively to right-handed hitters like Cruz. Stays alive at 0-2. So Cruz represents a tying run. Mariners have their leadoff man reach for the first time this afternoon after Cano's single. Held on by Hosmer. Off the hands and a soft pop-up. Infante calling up Hosmer. Makes the catch behind his head. Out number one. Well, time now for our Geico This Date in Major League history. We zoom in on third base. 25 years ago, Ricky Henderson breaks Lou Brock's all-time steal record. And Mike, you had a pretty sweet vantage point for that.
It was against the Yankees, and I was in the dugout for New York and had a chance to watch. It was a day game in Oakland, I can remember, and Ricky stole third base, break the record, and then he obviously gave the incredible speech.
He reminded people that he was pretty good.
The greatest, I believe, is what he said.
That's what he said.
Which was it was really funny, and it was neat for me. It was a few years later, but obviously I ended up being a teammate of Ricky's, and when I signed with Oakland, and he was still there. Turned out he was a great teammate. Still, I think at the time he was about 38 years old, and he could steal bases when he wanted to. Incredible shape.
That goes 2-0 on Len. It was a big night around baseball. That night, later that night, Nolan Ryan spun his 7th career no-hitter. To go along with what, Mike, about 11 one-hitters?
Yeah.
2-1 on Len.
Ryan, career ended in the Kingdom.
You saw that too.
I was standing on deck. Yeah, hurt his arm and walked off the mound, and that was it.
Cano, the man at first base, 1 out. Called a strike.
He has consistently given him that pitch, and I think the Mariner hitters are getting a little bit frustrated, and I don't blame them.
A lot of left-handed bats in the lineup today against Kennedy, a righty. Flicked foul, still 2-2.
One of the things about Ricky Henderson that I remember from playing against him and seeing that third base, and he always went head first, hands out, head first into any base, and he's so strong. I can remember in stealing third base one time when I was there, and his shoulders hit me in the shins of my feet and just took me right up out of the ground. It was like I was hit by a couple of bricks in my legs and knocked me over. Because he would come in there and he would dive late with so much speed, and he was so strong. And that's one of the reasons why he was so good too, because of that late slide that he would have. He didn't want to. He wanted to run as far as he possibly could, but it was not a lot of fun trying to put a tag on him. And he would change the entire infield when he was on the bases. He'd have to shorten up, cheat towards the bag, because especially for third, if you were playing back, he'd probably beat you to the base.
Really?
Yeah. He created a lot of holes for his teammates.
Kane into the gap, calls off Gordon and handles it himself for round number 2. Pretty good pregame workout routine for Ricky, Mike.
He was unreal. Again, I think he was 38 years old, but he would walk into the clubhouse, get in his workout gear, and I'm not sure how many push-ups, sit-ups, dips, curls that he would do, but it was a lot. And then he would go out and stretch and get ready for the day.
Just getting going.
Yeah. Tremendous work ethic he had.
Cano at first base, 2 down for Kyle Seager. Seager hit a pitch on the screws the opposite way. It was taken away by Gordon near the warning track his first time up.
He did a really nice job of keeping his hands back with his weight, and ended up getting a curveball at 77 miles an hour. He was able to drive it just in front of the fence out in left center field.
Dyson near the line. He's there for round number 3. Cano stranded at first base. 4 innings complete under the Safeco Field sunshine. 2-0 Royals. Making his 5th start of the season, and Mike, as we mentioned before, today has been pitching the Royals tough. They've got a couple of run-scoring hits to show for it, however.
Well, they do, but I think when Taijuan looks at it, he's probably a little bit frustrated. He's given up a couple of runs because he's made the pitches that he's wanted to and been able to jam the Royals, but they've been able to pick up a few hits on that, and that's how they've driven in their runs. At 2 for 4 today with runners in scoring position. But really, the only one that they've hit hard was the double by Escobar. They hit it down into the right field corner.
And it's Escobar to lead off the Royals' 5th. One ball and 1 strike.
And as you look at Taijuan and this pitch count at this point, 78 pitches is just getting started here in the 5th. It was the 2nd inning. He had to throw 31 pitches in the 2nd inning, but 78 pitches, 47 strikes for him so far.
Seager right by the lip of the grass, takes his time. Out number 1. Every seat is a good one on Link Light Rail, so ride in from their newest stations on Capitol Hill or at the UW. Schedules available at soundtransit.org. Northbound train coming into the stadium station just on the other side of the roof. 1 up, 1 down for Mike Moustakas. Moustakas a couple of ground ball outs in his first 2 at-bats. And Taijuan squares to count up 1-1. Ball and 2 strikes after the curveball from Walker. And he ties him up. Some heat that time at 95.
Another swing and miss on the fastball, and he has a good one. 95 miles an hour right on the inside corner. One of the things that you and I were talking about is Taijuan's ability to get the ground ball. But when he has the good fastball, he's not afraid to elevate it, throw it right above the belt, and get it to the inside corner. Difficult for hitters to catch up to it. A little bit easier if it were out over the plate. With 2 strikes, he typically will pitch him in and elevate his fastball.
He has really been a tremendous ground ball pitcher this year. His ground ball rate much ahead of where it has been last year and for his career this season. Sliced for a base hit. So Kane, a 2-hit day. You know, Mike, it's interesting when you think about Taijuan, a power pitcher. It can reach 97, and yet this is the extent of the windup for Taijuan Walker.
Almost looks as if he's pitching out of the stretch all the time. Yeah, it's simplified everything for him. We've talked about Taijuan and his ability to throw strikes, not walk batters, and I think for him, he was able to find something that worked for him.
Kane taken off, and Inetta kind of clutched on the throw. Kane gets his 3rd steal of the year.
But you'll see these guys, and the good news for Taijuan is he hasn't lost any power. He's still able to generate a lot of power in his last outing. Again, 98 miles an hour. We'll take a look at it. Right here is just didn't get the handle on it right away. Bobbled it a little bit. The Royals 3rd in the American League in stolen bases, so they have a number of guys in their lineup that will run.
Two outs and a man now in scoring position behind Taijuan. Royals have the only 2 runs of this ball game. Now, Taijuan said that he learned that abbreviated windup from David Price,
another power pitcher.
And that's what's interesting is that neither one of them have lost velocity. They've gained consistency, gained command. Price kind of has almost that whiplash finish
right
after every delivery. Price a very methodical, dare we say, slow worker. Taijuan just the opposite.
And we were talking about Nolan Ryan earlier. Randy Johnson went to see Nolan Ryan to help him, wanting to gain some command and figure things out with his windup and delivery. And it worked, because after that Randy was a much better pitcher, and he could still throw in the mid to upper 90s.
Two outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kane at second base. Taijuan coming off 11 strikeouts over 7 innings in his last start. Hosmer punches it into the ground. Marte really having a range, off balance throw, and it's airmail. Kane able to score. Hosmer into second base.
Be a base hit, E6. We'll take a look at it. Backhanded play. Hosmer can get down the line, so Marte just trying to get rid of it quickly, and unfortunately throws it over the head of Adam Lind, the first baseman.
Now no shot for Lind. That extends the top of the 5th. That brings in Morales.
For the Royals, after going 0 for 12 through the first 2 games with runners in scoring position, they're now 3 for 5 this afternoon.
And it's funny how this game works sometimes. Entering today, going up against Taijuan Walker. Few pitchers in the league on as good of a roll as Taijuan entering today. They've been shut out in 27 scoreless innings entering the 2nd, and they've grabbed a run in 3 of the last 4. And you mentioned the runners in scoring position numbers.
Yeah, and it's not, again, it's not as if they're hitting him hard today. Just finding some base hits.
.31 pitches in the 2nd. It really stands out as Taijuan is now pushing 95 pitches here in the 5th. Foul ball to Lind.
Tony Zick starting to get loose in the pen. Taijuan now at 94 pitches.
Now, we mentioned earlier, last 3 days the bullpen has accrued an inning and a third. Some fresh arms out there. The 0-2. Royals trying to win the final game of this 6-game road trip, trying to salvage the trip. They were swept in Anaheim, dropping the first 2 games here in Seattle. Twisting pop-up Seager's way, finding the sunshine, able to make the squeeze. A run in, an unearned run against the line of Taijuan Walker as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Kansas City leads at 3-0. Casino big catch. Ian Kennedy, Mike, 4 scoreless innings, and he's had his fair strikeouts on the outside edge.
No, you're right. He's had a good fastball at 93 with some run to it, and you can see strike 3 right there. Elevated fastball to Adam Lynn. Mariners so far today just 2 hits off of Kennedy, but he has been spot on with his command. And pretty good movement on that fastball. It's made it difficult for the Mariners.
Kennedy facing the bottom 3rd of the Mariners order in the last of the 5th. It starts with Chris Iannetta. Iannetta, a strikeout victim, looking in the 2nd.
Tony Zick continues to throw in the Mariners' pen, so Taijuan Walker probably done. He's at 96 pitches now, coming off the start where he threw 118. That's probably it.
Just 71 now for Kennedy.
51 strikes.
Iannetta getting the start, a Sunday day game following a night game. Not the first time we've seen Iannetta start following a night game, with the next day being in the sunshine. He's also had a pretty good thing going with Taijuan. 2-2.
A lot of fastballs from him, and right there at 70%. Mixed in a few changeups and some sliders to the right-handers.
Now, regardless how this at-bat ends for Iannetta, this is the type of thing we've heard Scott Service talk about. Iannetta falls behind 0-2, able to wait out to get to 3-2, ends up striking out. We've heard Scott Service reference that a number of times, and this is something that, even if it ends in a strikeout like we just saw there, It's nice that, well, we saw last year the Mariners, a top 5 strikeout team in baseball. Sometimes you get behind 0-2 and it's lights out, at bats over with.
Quickly, yeah, and you can have some at bats that help you because you end up working on the pitch count of the starter, especially when you have a starter that is on top of his game like Kennedy. And he's pitched well this year. His last outing was a tough one, but he came into the game with a 2.77 ERA. He has pitched well for the Royals.
Now, even after a start where he gave up 5 runs, his ERA was still at about 2 3/4. One and 2 to Martin. Think about the game-winning catch, game-saving catch from Martin in Game 1 when he went crashing up against the wall in center field to help secure a Mariners win behind Felix, who went 7 2/3 scoreless. And if you're Jerry Dipoto, you can't help but watch that. When you think about being Jerry Dipoto watching that play, you can't help but watching that going, this is exactly why, right? This is why he's here, for game-winning, game-saving moments like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And he'll make a number of those over the course of the summer. Help the Mariners add to their win total. Especially in a game like that when the Mariners have one hit. It's the solo home run by Seth Smith, and they win the game 1-0.
Yeah, the difference between
on
winning,
a great outing by Felix.
Fantastic. The difference between winning and losing is just dental floss thin in a game like that. 2 outs for Sardinas. One ball and 1 strike. Sardinas just 21 at bats entering today. Now, this role is a tough one for a young player, Mike, but hearing Scott Service talk about Sardinas, still has a lot of confidence despite his youth to have this bench role.
Well, I think the reason is one, you talked about it earlier, he's a smart player, gets it. But 2, you can put him in the field and he's not going to hurt you. He will make the plays defensively, and then you hope that he can provide something offensively here and there. And probably because he is so young, you're not expecting him to do a lot.
We've heard Scott say that he feels good putting Sardinas anywhere in the field as long as he's not wearing catcher's gear or is standing 60 feet 6 inches from the plate. He'll put him anywhere else.
Obviously a really good fielder when he's on the infield, but I thought he looked pretty good in spring training when they put him in the outfield from time to time. A little work out there, and that hit him. He hit him with a curveball.
Sardinas will take first. 2 outs and a man at first base. We take a look at our Delta Airlines keep climbing standings. Mariners a half game behind the Rangers as Texas has rattled off 4 straight wins. They've won 10 of their 14 games in Arlington so far this year. It'll be off to face the A's and the Astros on the upcoming road trip. When you think about the way that the West is stacking up right now, you can see it here. Top 3 teams separated by less than 2 games. Top 4 teams by 3 games.
The Rangers in Arlington playing the Angels. They're behind right now, 5-4 in the 7th inning.
By the way, speaking of the Angels, they have option Matt Shoemaker down to AAA. He is really scuffled. He has an ERA over 9 right now. Has had multiple short outings of less than 4 innings. Shoemaker, who was the savior for the Angels just a couple of seasons ago. In fact, Scioscia called him their team MVP the year that Mike Trout won the MVP. But he's coming off 7 runs in 2 1/3 innings last night. He's now in Salt Lake City. Easy play for Gordon. The Mariners strand Sardinas at first base. We're through 5. 3-0 Kansas City. My Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. And by Jack in the Box, taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo only at Jack in the Box. Good look north on Occidental. And down towards the clink as we turn the page and go to the top of the 6th inning. Royals stake to a 3-0 lead. And the Mariners will have a new pitcher up on the mound. We'll first take a look at the line today for Taijuan Walker.
5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned. Didn't walk anybody, 4 strikeouts. He threw 96 pitches, 62 of those for strikes. And Tony Zych, this will be his 10th appearance, a 3.27 ERA, 16 strikeouts in 11 innings. Opponent's hitting just 184. Good fastball, 95 to 97. Also, you mix in his slider and a changeup. Changeup to the left-handers.
Now for Taijuan, this is his shortest start of the year, the first time that he has not reached at least 6 innings. He opened up the year with 4 straight starts going at least 6 innings, allowing 2 runs or fewer. So even though 3 runs allowed today, Mike still has not given up more than 2 earned runs in each of his first 5 starts.
And if you look at Kansas City, they're a club, they don't strike out much and they don't walk much. What they did to him today was they fouled off a number of pitches. Good fastball from Tony at 96.
Alex Gordon hit by a pitch in the 2nd. He came around to score, struck out his last time up. Oh, 2. Marte swings around over to the first base side of 2nd. Now with 2 strikes. And it's off the barrel of the bat, back to the glove of Iannetta. 97. He went slider at 85 and went up top with the heat at 97. Well, the Mariners and Seattle Children's invite junior Mariners to stop by the playfield located off the main concourse in center field. Kids can stop by to enjoy the playground or cast a wish in the wishing well. Check it out next time you're here at Safeco Field. We've mentioned it before, Mike, regarding Tony Zych, the difference in velocity between the slider with tremendous movement and then the fastball at upper 90s.
His slider will be 83 miles an hour, and there it is for a strike. 82 on that slider.
I think bottom line, the slider with a little less velocity than you might imagine for a guy who's pumping in there 95, 96, 97. But as Zych has said, it's by design and it has been very effective.
It has a little more tilt to his slider than most that you're going to see.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if it was 84 and flat.
Then you're calling it a slurve, and it's not that. It has some bite to it.
Blows it past him. 96.
I think the other thing with him is a little bit deceptive because he almost looks, from the hitter standpoint, he almost looks as if he's short arming the ball, but yet it's up there at 96 miles an hour, which you wouldn't expect.
Short arm just in his extension with his delivery, you mean?
The way he takes it back more than anything. Now when he finishes his pitches, he'll get his arm out there, but he doesn't have the big over the top type of delivery. It's short and quick, and it gets on you in a hurry.
Weak wave and a miss. The slide piece, round number 2.
And actually takes a little bit more off this one. 81 miles an hour, but you can see the downward action on that pitch. And when you're trying to catch up to 96, 97, it's tough to lay off of it.
We referenced this with Felix, the fastball and the changeup combination. Both pitches looking the exact same coming in. Same story with Zych's fastball and slider, kind of the same tunnel.
He'll throw it out of the same window as far as where his hand is at. And he has tremendous arm speed on his slider, and you can see it there on that fastball at 97. So as a hitter, you don't have a lot of time to recognize what the pitch is going to be. I think sometimes you either have to get after the fastball early in the count off of Tony. I don't think you're going to do much with the slider, and it's the reason why you get so many strikeouts compared to the innings that he's pitching.
Ball and 2 strikes to Infante.
With that downward action on his slider, it comes out of his hand and it looks like it's going to be in the strike zone, and it ends up being down.
Well, Tony has not had an appearance this year. He's made 9 without striking out at least one batter. Now 18 strikeouts over 11 2/3 innings this season. And add another to the list. The slider again. Zick strikes out the side in order. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Royals have the lead. Mariners playing the final game of the homestand. A gorgeous day. 66 degrees at first pitch. Trying to get a sweep of the Kansas City Royals. In the Sunday alternate home unis, they've had a tough time. Like today against Ian Kennedy. He's been awfully good.
No, you can see it. Just a couple of hits. You see the 1 walk. He's hit a batter, but 86 pitches for him so far. 59 strikes. He's been in command. Good fastball at 93. He's also mixed in a slider and a changeup. Royals have the shift on against Seth Smith. Seth with one of the 2 hits for the Mariners.
Off to Oakland to play Seth's former team after this one's over today. Seth had a nice role in some of those championship teams, AL West winning teams for Oakland. Smith behind 0-2. Hard hit. And off the glove of Hosmer. Dives in shallow right. Smith is safe. That's a base hit for Smith, his second.
Top spin line drive at Hosmer. The Gold Glove first baseman. You're not going to hit it much harder than this. He ends up getting a piece of it, but can't handle it. And Seth, hustling all the way, is able to beat it out at first. Will be a base hit. And Aaron, you're getting to that point in the game when we haven't really had to talk about it since the Mariners have been ahead for the first 2 games. But let's not forget they have Herrera and Davis out in that bullpen. Neither one of them, Herrera pitched the 8th inning, Davis the 9th. Neither one has given up an earned run this year. It's a real strength of this ball club. So you'd like to get back in this game, either in this inning or the next inning, or the combination of the two. Keep those guys out in the pen, because we saw Davis last night basically just getting some work in, but they haven't been in their normal roles because the Mariners have had the lead.
Now you want no part of Herrera or Davis, just like we saw in the Bronx against the Yankees. Dylan Betances, Andrew Miller. They can close the door in a hurry. Two balls and a strike to Cano.
A couple of left-handers getting loose in the pen. Danny Duffy, the only lefty for the Royals, getting loose, and Mike Montgomery getting loose in the Mariner pen.
Montgomery, the former Royal. The 2-1. Into the seats. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cruz on deck. He is the tying run. Still 2-2.
You can see the location of the last pitch. 93, a fastball running off the outside corner, and Kennedy today has been getting that call, so Cano, pretty good job to spoil that pitch, able to foul it off.
Cano leading the league in RBIs, tied for the league lead in homers with Josh Donaldson. Up top to make it a full count. Cruz waiting his turn, as Kennedy will lace him up. Cano's only the 3rd second baseman to ever lead his respective league in homers and ribbies at the end of April, since Rogers Hornsby back in 1931. Charlie Gehringer back in 39. An incredible start to this season for the Mariners' second baseman. Keep an eye on Smith. Well, the wind picking up a little bit, blowing out towards right field. The 3-2. Hot smash up the middle for a base hit. Smith puts on the gas, makes the round at second base and at third, and the Mariners have him on the corners with nobody out.
And a really good at bat by Robinson Cano. We talked about him spoiling a pitch, a fastball that was borderline. He gets one that's elevated, middle away, and hits it hard right back up the middle. Good at bat. So now the Mariners with 4 hits. Smith with 2 of them and Cano with 2 of them. We'll bring in Nelson Cruz. He's the one that's seen a fair share of sliders this afternoon from Kennedy.
4 pitches shy of 100 for Kennedy.
And with Smith reaching 3rd base, the Mariners have their first opportunity with a runner in scoring position.
Now Duffy still warming up, so you have to figure this will be the last batter that Kennedy faces when you figure in the pitch count, and the fact that Adam Lind, a left-handed hitter, is on deck.
Lind and Seager.
So a couple lefties to follow Cruz. Nelson is the tying run. 0-2. Cruz looking for his first hit of the series. He's reached base 5 times the first 2 games without a hit.
Just a blooper now. Just a blooper. Just get one across. Just drop one in. That's out. That's out. Way out.
Missing a way to make it 1-2. Next pitch will be number 100 for Kennedy. He was held the Mariners scoreless over the first 5 innings and finally is in a little bit of hot water.
Well, Kennedy is season high 109. That was in his first start against Minnesota.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And the Mariners have not picked up a hit for extra bases against today's Royals starter. All 4 hits have been singles. Kennedy's 2-2. Skips in there, a full count. Full count to the second straight hitter. Lind on deck. He will most certainly face Danny Duffy. That being said, some right-handed bats on the bench for Scott Service today.
Here we go.
Smith the man at third, Cano at first. Cruz the tying run at the plate. The 3-2, spoiled foul.
And one of the few good pitches for Nelson to hit this afternoon. You can see middle in, belt high.
Scott Service, Tim Bogar, Mariners bench coach, talking things over.
Come on, Kennedy. Hey, one. Hey, one.
And here we go again. Pitch number 8 coming up to Cruz. Mariners trying to come from behind today, trying to sweep the Royals. Once more on 3-2. Ball 4, the bases loaded. And that is most certainly the end of the day for Ian Kennedy. Here comes Ned Yost. Nobody out. Bases full, and the Mariners find the Royals bullpen for the first time.
And another good at bat. It was Cano first, and then that one by Cruz at the layoff. A number of pitches off the plate away. A lot of sliders. Good at bat.
Kennedy done. Bags packed. Go ahead run coming up. We're back in just a moment. By authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Our CenturyLink What's Next starting pitching matchups coming up in the Bay Area. Carnes, Iwakuma, and then the King with his .38 ERA going up against Kendall Graveman, the ace of the A's, Sonny Gray, and then a young man who just made his major league debut, Sean Manaea.
And we'll take a look at Danny Duffy again, the only left-hander in the pen for the Royals. His 11th appearance, ERA just over 4, 11 strikeouts, 4 walks in 11 innings. Opponent's hitting .214 against him. He has a good fastball, and he likes to throw it a lot. Dae-Ho Lee going to pinch hit for Adam Lynn.
Ace is full, nobody out. And a first pitch strike.
And you can see the fastball, 98 miles an hour.
Well, 98 was the magic number for Dae-Ho Lee. And that walk-off home run against the Texas Rangers. Dae-Ho was somehow able to turn around a 98-mile-an-hour heater upstairs from lefty Jake Diekman. Bags packed, nobody out. Mariners down by 3. The 1-1 went upstairs for it again.
Well, he's just trying to cheat to catch up with the fastball. This one well out of the strike zone upstairs. See a pitcher throwing as hard as Duffy is. You really need to try to get him down in the zone. A little bit easier to get the barrel to it.
Down on strikes. Blows it past him.
Another fastball. This one at the top of the strike zone. And a late swing, 98 miles an hour.
Base is still full, 1 out. Brings in Kyle Seager. Last year, half of Seager's 26 home runs came against lefties like Duffy. Now, maybe not exactly like Duffy. Not all of them were throwing 97, 98. Duffy ahead right away, 0-1. Chance for Seager's 4th career grand slam. Good numbers career with the bases loaded. He's got Smith over at third base. Cano standing at second. Cruz just recently took ball 4. Aboard at first base. Duffy now comes set. 0-2.
6 pitches, all of them fastballs from Duffy.
Seager behind 0-2. The base is full. Gets him looking. Borderline pitch. It's been called that way all day. Got him with a breaking ball.
And trying to get ready for 98 miles an hour, and you can see the sweeping slider right off the outside corner.
You can see how far Perez set up away. Mike Montgomery loosening up in the bullpen for the Mariners. Joel Peralta there as well. Time call. Ian Kennedy, 104 pitches over 5+. All three runners belong to him as Perez puts his arm around Duffy. It's up to Chris Iannetta, a strikeout victim twice already today. Tying run is at first base. That's Cruz. Fouls it away for strike one. Well, you're defensive enough facing Duffy in any at bat, Mike, but he's gone strike one to each of the first three guys, and that makes it even tougher.
Yeah, with a plus fastball. So the guys, when they're watching him in the on deck circle, they know they have to get the barrel started a little bit early. And eight pitches, 7 of them fastballs. The only breaking ball was the 0-2 pitch to Kyle. Outside of that, he's gone right after him.
Good numbers for Iannetta with the bases packed in his career. This is his first plate appearance with runners all around this season. His time is called once again. Jumps on it. Right side and through. Smith scores. Here comes Cano getting waved in. Dyson's throw home. Tag and Cano is out. Mariners get their first run of the game on this base hit by Chris Iannetta. Strong throw by Dyson. And Cano trying to go wide with the slide. Clearly out number 3. The top of the 7th. Well, sign your little sluggers up for the new free Mariners Kids Club powered by Junior Mariners. Membership includes newsletters and special offers. Plus, when you visit Safeco Field, kids will get a wiffle ball, Kids Club badge, and more. Join the free Mariners Kids Club at mariners.com/kids. Great day to be at the ballpark with the family here today. Gorgeous afternoon. Joel Peralta, the new pitcher for the Mariners. He takes over for Tony Zink. Zink struck out the side in order of the 6th inning.
And for Peralta, this will be his 10th appearance. ERA right at 3. 10 strikeouts, 2 walks in 9 innings. Good numbers for him. Opponents hitting just 161. Fastball about 90 miles an hour. Mix in a breaking ball and a split.
Facing Dyson. He with the strong throw home to nab Cano in the inning. Goes after the first pitch.
And it looks like Soria getting loose in the pen. So Soria will pitch the 7th.
Dae-Ho Lee, who pinch hit for Adam Lind, stays in the game at first. Two. Sounded like a broken bat.
Right off the end of the bat. Peralta throwing the split after the fastball.
Peralta up at the count, 0-2. And misses high to make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mariners entered today 4-1 on this homestand. Today the final game before a week-long road trip to Oakland and then on to Houston. Adam swinging, chasing after it. Good start for Peralta. Last 4 Royals hitters have struck out in order, dating back to the start of the 6th.
And with Dyson at the plate, it'll be a fastball at 91 on the outside corner. Back to the top of the lineup with Escobar. Escobar 1 for 3, a double and a scored a run.
What a weekend this has been from inside Safeco Field. Mike, weekend attendance just shy of 120,000. 119,181 for these 3 games.
It's made it a lot of fun. Having all the fans here. Weather has been great.
Last night we saw over 43,000, largest crowd since opening day. Cruz hustling over. We've had a lot going on at the ballpark this weekend too. A college night. Macklemore threw out a first pitch. We had a beard hat that was given out. The Nelly Cruz boomstick bobblehead, which was given out last night. Defending World Series champions in town. In the happening spot. And you cannot ask for a better day to wrap up the homestand this afternoon.
And some exciting baseball, including the first game of this series. A 1-0 win. Solo home run by Seth Smith, his 100th home run of his career. And then the great catch by Martin to end the game.
That was an awesome game.
Kings Court, Felix doing his thing.
Kings Court was electric. Trying to bunt his way aboard 2-2. And then last night Wade Miley, the complete game shutout, the first of his career.
Mariners scoring 4 runs in the first on a couple of home runs. Smith in the middle of that again. Kyle Seager with a 3-run home run.
That's now back-to-back starts for Miley that have looked really sharp.
Right,
last night, obviously one of the best of his career, the best. Full count. Moustakas on deck, 0 for 3 so far today. Through the right side for a base hit. Escobar his second hit today. 1 on for Moustakas with 1 out.
He gets a fastball in a full count, you would expect. that he would. You don't want to walk him and put him on base. He has some speed and cause you some problems. Escobar, perfect 6 for 6 stolen bases.
You think about where this Mariners bullpen is today relative to where we thought it was going to be exiting Peoria coming out of spring training. Entering this series, the Mariners bullpen had the lowest opposing average, batting average that is, of all 30 major league bullpens, and they also had the lowest opposing on base percentage in all of baseball. This bullpen has been very well rested over the last couple of days. Felix going 7 2/3. And not needed last night with Miley's complete game shutout.
I think it's a good point, Aaron. When you think about the bullpen leaving spring training, we weren't sure what to expect. So many new guys out there. Just didn't know what you were going to get. We knew that Charlie wasn't going to be available. That certainly hurts them.
And one of those guys was new as of a couple of days before we broke camp. Nick Vincent coming over from the Padres.
Mike Montgomery had never pitched out of the pen before. He's looked really good.
We saw Charlie doing some throwing today in right field well before the game. And it was good to hear Jerry Dipoto say earlier today that Joaquin Benoit will start his throwing program very soon, as of tomorrow, I believe, and they think 2 to 3 weeks for Benoit. Two balls, no strikes to Moustakas. Pretty strange for the Royals that all of their road games this year have come against the American League West. They're 4-7 on the road. Two and 1. Royals will head home after this one today, but for a very short time. They've got interleague play coming up. Taking on the Nationals. They're home for 3 against Bryce Harper and the Nats, and then it's back onto the road for a week. They're in Cleveland and in the Bronx to take on the Yankees, and then more interleague play against the Braves. Well, we've seen it already with the lack of depth in the National League this year, Mike. If you're a team in the National League and you want to make it to the playoffs, you might need 92, 93 wins just to be a wild card team. There are so many bottom feeders in the National League this year.
No, you're right about that. And we saw a lot of that last year. You look at the Central last year. What a tough division that was.
3 teams over 90 wins, including the Cardinals with 100. Well, the Cubs, I believe, last year 93-game winner, a wild card team.
And it probably is going to be the same this year.
And you think of it relative to the dominant aces that are in the National League. We've already seen one no-hitter, Jake Arrieta. But you think about teams like the Phillies, although they're off to a surprisingly good start, the Braves, the Reds, Milwaukee, and then you think about just the nasty arms that are in the National League, as in the American League too. But guys like Kershaw, Arrieta, Syndergaard, Madison Bumgarner. Got him looking. Splitter that time for round number 2.
And you saw Iannetta, where he was going to throw it to second base. Escobar at first bluffed. Iannetta not wanting to take any chances. Was ready to throw to second if he was able to. We'll take a look at this last pitch. Good split.
The last 5 Royals outs have come with strikeouts. 2 outs. Escobar at first base. It brings in Lorenzo Cain. Quick check of Escobar at first.
Cain with a couple of hits. So driven in a run and scored. 2 for 3. Martin, the center fielder, shading towards right.
Now, speaking of National League aces, Cain made his way to Kansas City in a trade for one of them years ago when Zach Greinke was traded away. Cain came over with Alcides Escobar. Came over from Milwaukee. Trade worked out pretty well for Kansas City. A lot of room in left field. Smith comes in for out number 3. A man left as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch, and we'll keep it right here. We'll hand things over to the public address announcer at Safeco Field, Tom Hutler.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you now to please rise and join us in honoring our great country with the singing of God Bless America. Please welcome Keith Taylor.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
If you had Washington's lottery mobile app, this break in the action would be the perfect time to check the winning numbers. Play today. Mariners down by 2 as we turn the page and go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Joakim Soria on to work things for Kansas City. This is when the bullpen starts to get awfully tough for the Royals, as if Duffy wasn't tough enough.
Well, Soria has struggled a little bit, so this would be a good time for the Mariners to put some pressure on him. A 5.73 ERA in 11 innings. He has 11 strikeouts, but 7 walks. Opponent's hitting .302. He's given up a couple of home runs.
We saw Soria back in game 1 and inning scoreless as caught the home plate umpire, DJ Rayburn.
for Soria. He does not throw as hard as he used to. His fastball will be 91 to 93 miles an hour as we take a look at Martin trying to take this bunt with him. Barely gets a piece of it.
Salvador Perez will take a new baseball out to Soria. Give DJ Rayburn time to shake that one off a little bit.
Aoki has come out on deck. He will pinch it for Sardinez, who have to start at second base, the number 9 hitter for the Mariners this afternoon.
One ball and 1 strike to Martin.
Now Nuno getting loose in the Mariner pen.
Martin, who came to the States from Cuba, signed by the Rangers, was the replacement to Josh Hamilton out in center field. Two and two. Martin stays alive, still 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, Mike, when you take a look at how the offensive numbers have stacked up so far this year, I mentioned it earlier, the Mariners tied for 5th in the American League in runs, tied with the Blue Jays. Mariners so far today just 1 run across home. Soft pop up here over to Moustakas. They handle it there for round number 1. You look at run differential this year for the Mariners, though, overall through the first month of the season. The Mariners have the best run differential in the West, a +24, even better than the Rangers, a +16. Look at the other hand of that, the Astros in the red, -33. This has been a nice start.
It has been, and you look at the +24. That's the highest for the month of April the Mariners have had since 2003 when they were at a +28. Keep in mind they have played 4 more games in the month of April in 2003. They ended up 17 and 10. The Mariners 13 and 10 this year. And that 2003 team won 93 games. So hopefully this is a good sign for the Mariners as Aoki will step in, see what he's done in his career as a pinch hitter.
And when we're talking run differential, it's a pretty simple calculation. Runs scored compared to runs allowed. So the Mariners have scored 24 more runs than they have allowed so far this year.
You mentioned 5th in runs scored in the American League. They're also 2nd in the ERA, so it's a pretty good combination.
Really only one team in the American League with a better run differential this year. That's the White Sox. They're just 1 better than the Mariners. Chicago off to just an incredible start, 18 and 8. They've won 12 of their 17 games away from home. Talk about starting off the season on the road a ton.
And again, this is an important inning. You have Herrera, who will pitch in the 8th inning, and Davis in the 9th, and neither one of them have given up an earned run. So this is an important inning and a good count for Aoki at 3-1.
Full count. Soria broke into the big leagues many years ago with Kansas City. Was an all-star closer. Left and has since returned. 1 out, nobody on. Off the middle, Aoki off the bench picks up a pinch hit base hit. One out, 1 on. Tie and run coming to the plate. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 devices. Includes a free subscription to At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Visit Mariners.com for details. One out, 1 on for Ketel Marte.
This is an important at-bat right here. You have Seth Smith waiting on deck. Cano after that. Both of them with a couple of hits in the game. Seth has been hot. Already 2 home runs in this series. I'd like to get him to the plate with a couple of runners on.
High chopper. Infante shovel pass over to Escobar covering. They just get one. Two outs. Marte stays now at first base, and here comes Seth Smith. Smith a couple of singles. You can see having a nice series, 5 for 10. Has lifted his average now just south of 320. Big at bat here for Smith. Nearly all of Seth's at-bats this year have come against right-handed pitching, like Soria. Only 4 at-bats this year against lefties. Off the play. Smith is the tying run. He's ahead of the count. Two and one. Now if Smith can reach, Canoa's on deck.
And I think Soria is going to continue to try to keep the ball away from him. Get later in the games. That's pretty normal. Seth obviously has been around for a while. He understands that. Doesn't mean you won't get a mistake, though. You have to be ready for it.
2-2. Soria takes a moment off the backside of the mound as Smith steps out. Now the Mariners had him loaded in the 6th inning. They grabbed 1 run. Iannetta got the RBI single to right field. Cano was thrown out at home. And a balk is called. A balk is called on Soria. Marte suddenly in scoring position.
Well, you have to come set, and apparently Rayburn, the home plate umpire, didn't think that he did that. Didn't hold it long enough. It's the only thing that I could see right there.
Mike, I would have to think from an analyst standpoint, recognizing the balk, which it seems like more times than not is never actually there, has got to be one of the toughest parts of your job.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. That's the only thing I could think of that he would call right there. I didn't see anything else.
More times than not, the balk is invisible to everybody but the man who called it.
And Soria didn't seem happy about it either. And Perez actually questioned him. So.
Full count.
Cano waiting on deck. He's had a good day. 2 for 3.
Best speed of the lineup is at second base. Two out. Soria takes a glance at Marte. And it's ball 4 to Smith.
And that will bring up Cano. Cano with 8 home runs on the year. Leads the American League in RBIs with 24. Mariners so far this afternoon 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position.
Now this is where Cano has feasted this season against right-handed pitching. 7 of his 8 home runs, 19 of his 24 RBIs as Herrera starts to stir. 2 outs, 2 on. First pitch strike. Cano the go-ahead run. Mariners have the tying run at first and Smith. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses. Boy, really dialed it down to the curve to 71. That could have gone either way.
Outfielders are playing deep. Lorenzo Cain shading towards left center. Big gap in right center field. Middle line drive right at the Root Sports sign.
That'd do some damage. Two and one. Close pitches each of the last 2. Right there. Smith at first, Marte with the wheels at second. The 2-1. Rattled foul. Now the Mariners this year have made a killing with 2-out RBIs. 41 on the season. That's 4th in the American League. And Cano right now leading the league with a dozen of them. So this has been his wheelhouse so far this year. 2 outs, 2 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mariners down by a pair. And time called. To center field. Cain looking up in front of the track. He's got the space and he makes the catch. That'll do it for the Mariners at the bottom of the 7th. Still down by 2.
Trail the Royals 3-1 as we head to the top of the 8th. Hello everyone, I'm Jen Mueller at the Ford Sports Desk. Let's take a look at those pictures that you have submitted using the hashtag #WhereIRoot, courtesy of Alaska Airlines. Midwest people have the best smiles, according to Josh Johnston. I don't know about that, but I will say the folks in that picture, well, they do look pretty good. And then there's this one from Amelia, thanking the couple with them from traveling from Astoria. We do hope that we see out at the ballpark just a few more times this year. And finally, an 11-year anniversary at the Mariner game. Congratulations, you two. We are rooting for you to have many more. Get it? Yeah, I thought so. We keep those photos coming using the hashtag #WhereIRoot, presented by Alaska Airlines. Let's get you back up to the booth, guys.
All right, thank you, Jen. Well, some changes for the Mariners as Oki takes over in left field. This is Hosmer leading things off against a new pitcher in Vidal Nuno.
For Nuno, his 8th appearance, a 1.29 ERA, 8 strikeouts in 7 innings.
Healthy hack there to make it 0-2. So a new pitcher in Nuno. You saw Oki in left. Cano has taken over for Sardinas at second base. Robinson was a DH to start things today. Hosmer, a high, towering fly ball. This is just off the top of the wall. Bounces back, a home run. Fourth on the year for Hosmer. Behind the count 0-2.
And a mistake with the fastball. You can see Iannetta set up off the plate away and ended up middle and elevated.
Now facing Morales. First home run allowed this year by Nuno. Little squibber goes foul. Interesting the way the batting order has shaped up now, Mike.
Yeah.
When we go to the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Cruz, the cleanup hitter, due up. But because of the way that Scott Service has had to use his bench here, we will see Nuno, the pitcher, batting in the number 2 spot of the order. Seth Smith out of the game.
The Mariners have a couple of position players in Clevenger, the backup catcher, and Gutierrez still available to them. Lee and Aoki have both pinch hit and are both in the game right now.
Check swing and appeal does not go. Four runs on 9 hits now for Kansas City. That is their first home run of the series. Got him looking, Morales. Now number 1. Well, are you the ultimate Northwest fan in the state of Oregon? Then Root Sports is looking for you throughout the month of May. Submit a photo and story on our website at rootsports.com/ultimate-fan. And you could win a VIP trip for 2 to Seattle in September, a personalized jersey, and more. Presented by Country Financial. For official rules, go to rootsports.com. Gordon into right field with 1 out.
And Gordon being aggressive, hit the first pitch fastball. We'll bring up Perez. Perez having a good afternoon, 2 for 3. Has a strikeout swinging. And a couple of singles for him.
Dae-Ho Lee, out number 2. You don't see Vidal Nuno giving up too many home runs to left-handed hitters. As you mentioned, Hosmer taking him deep. First home run that he's given up this year happens to be against a left-handed hitter. Last year, just one, Charlie Blackmon of the Rockies, when the Mariners were in Denver for interleague play. And then, as it turns out, 2 years ago, against another Royal, Alex Gordon. So, not too often we see a left-handed bat going deep off of Nuno. 2 outs, 0-1 the count to Infante. And Nuno ahead 0-2. Two outs, scored to the man at first base.
Aaron, you mentioned the Mariners batting order. The guys that are going to hit, Cruz, Lee, and Seager, better start cranking them because Herrera's ready to go, and he could touch 100 miles an hour.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Herrera, an all-star last year for the first time in his career. Infante stays alive, still 1-2. Well, it's funny to think of that a year ago this time, Herrera was the 7th inning man, Davis was the 8th inning man, and Greg Holland was the closer. Holland out this year because of Tommy John. Those two guys have been bumped up a spot, Herrera and Davis. There goes Gordon as this is fouled away. You think about the way that from a pitching standpoint the Royals are constructed, built around that bullpen. The Mariners and Jerry Dipoto have kind of taken the opposite approach this year with the Mariners, in that wanting to really fortify the rotation and get multiple starters who you can count on to go 200 innings, and that explains why Jerry was willing to give up Carson Smith, an elite late inning reliever, to get a guy in Wade Miley who has a track record of 200 innings every season. That's not to say you don't want a good bullpen still.
Well, with that and also getting Carnes. Carnes probably not going to pitch 200 innings, but you add some depth to your rotation. Of course, they have Paxton down in AAA. And I think he felt that that was important too. You have to have, because they're not all going to stay healthy. You need somebody else.
Paxton coming off a nice start, by the way, for the Rainiers. Struck out 8 against AAA Sacramento his last time out.
His last couple of outings have been good, which is good to see because he struggled in his first 2.
Inetta off with the mask into the shadows and cannot make the catch. It's interesting to hear Jerry Dipoto talk about James Paxton, and they have made a slight adjustment in his delivery. We know how over the top he is.
Right.
Sounds like they've dropped his arm slot just a little bit.
A little bit, trying to change his arming, and he was struggling to throw strikes. They had to get him back in the strike zone, and apparently, looking at his last 2 outings, that has helped.
Two outs, 1 on, and a 1-2 count to Infante. There goes Gordon. Lee down to second. Marte not in time. Gordon safe.
And that's an example of just taking off on the first move. He wasn't trying to read Nuno. Unfortunately, it took Nuno a little bit of time to get the ball over to Lee. And he looks safe. Let's see if Scott Servais wants to take a look, and he does not. So it's a stolen base.
Two and two. Now, speaking of James Paxton, he was today's starting pitcher for Tacoma in Las Vegas. Boy, Mike, good stuff here.
Yeah, good numbers. 6 innings, 5 hits. Just the 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts.
Nuno gets Infante chasing. A run in, a man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Kansas City leading things by 3.
I'm Jen Mueller. The Mariners looking to score some runs here in the 8th inning, and we are looking to take you inside the game tonight on Mariners All Access at 7:30. You've seen some milestones from Robinson Cano and Kyle Seager this week. We will relive those and explain how Edgar Martinez helped them reach those milestones. Plus, take a sneak peek at the Mother's Day cards created by the Mariners for their moms. And Wade Miley tells you how he got the job done last night. Well, kind of, because he's showing you his out pitch, guys, the one that he's been throwing the longest. That's all coming up. Mariners All Access tonight at 7:30.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you, Jen. Nelly Cruz will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning for the Mariners, facing a new pitcher. This is power on power. In the most extreme form, he's squaring off against Kelvin Herrera out of the Royals bullpen. First pitch, jumps on it. Kane having an angle back, curling in front of the warning track, and the catch, palm up.
And for Nelson Cruz, wanting to be aggressive, not falling behind Herrera. He gets a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, puts a pretty good pass on it. Probably ends up getting in on him just a little bit. And we've talked about the Royals outfield. They cover a lot of ground. It's an easy catch for Kane. And for Herrera on the year, 12 appearances, as you can see, has not given up an earned run. 16 strikeouts and 11 1/3. Opponents hitting 190 off of him.
First pitch to Dae-Ho Lee, swing and a miss.
98 miles an hour. Mike Montgomery getting loose in the Mariner pen.
Now Lee has seen nothing but plus velocity today. Pinch hit for Adam Lind to face Danny Duffy, who was coming in there at 98, and now from the right side it's Herrera.
Welcome to today's Major League Baseball, Aaron. Tough job. And he drops a breaking ball in there on you.
Well, Herrera's got more than just the gas. He's got a changeup, a slider, and a curve as well. Pretty deep repertoire for a guy who could live most days just throwing 97, 98. Close pitch there. Herrera has a power changeup at 89 miles an hour. Still 2-2.
Kyle Seager waiting on deck.
Right-handed hitters this year against Herrera, just 2 for now 23 after the fly ball out from Cruz. Full count. Seager waiting on deck. Mariners down to their final 5 outs in this one today. Up the middle, and it's stabbed by Infante. He squared it up, but it's out number 2.
97 in the middle of the plate at the knees, and he drops the barrel on it. Fortunately, right at Infante.
Two up, 2 down. It brings in Kyle Seager. Mariners' lone run came in the 6th inning and was charged to Ian Kennedy. Today's starter for the Royals. No shift for Seager as he cracks it up the middle for a base hit. This rolls over to Dyson. Seager hunting second base, and he's able to slide in with plenty of time. 2-out double for Kyle Seager.
Line drive, base hit, 96 miles an hour. Good hustle by Kyle. Running hard the entire way. May not seem like much, but with a couple of outs here in the 8th, down by 3. But if you can pick that runner up right here, makes your job a little bit easier against Davis, who will pitch the 9th.
We know Dyson's got a strong arm. We saw him throw out Cano at home plate earlier in this game, but that time Mike seemed like just too long of a ways for Dyson to run to get to it in time for Seager to be able to get second base.
Yeah, and it was the angle of it too, taking him out towards right center field. It's tough to get his foot right. When he made the throw to home, he was charging the ball, and it was Iannetta who had that base hit that Dyson was able to throw Cano out. He's driven in the 1 run for the Mariners.
Check swing makes it 1-1. By the way, that's just the 3rd extra base hit allowed by Herrera so far this year. They've all been doubles.
Mariners 1 for 4 runners in scoring position so far. They've left 8 men on base.
Big rip and a miss to make it 1-2.
His best fastball, 99 miles an hour.
And you can get away with that location a little bit better at 99. On the outside corner, a little wide, ruled a strike. Seager stranded. We're up to the 9th inning. Orioles leading this one by 3. Well, coming up on the post-game report brought to you by Delta Airlines, we'll hear from the skipper, Scott Service. Also, the latest minor league news around the Mariners affiliates, and also preview the upcoming road trip. It'll be to Oakland for 3. Day game on Wednesday, and then it's off to Houston for 4. Mariners will be gone for a week, and then back home to face Tampa Bay. Well, that's coming up once this one comes to a close. Mariners hoping to come from behind, and they'll need a strong top of the ninth Mike from the former Royal, Mike Montgomery.
7 appearances on the year, 10 2/3. He has 10 strikeouts, 4 walks. Opponents hitting .184 against Mike. Throwing the ball well out of the pen. Fastball 94 to 95 miles an hour. Mix in a curveball changeup. Also throw a cutter in on the right-handers.
Facing Gerard Dyson to start the ninth. Montgomery, at one time a very high prospect in the Royals farm system. And his start last year against Kansas City was a memorable one. A complete game shutout. Just 5 hits. He punched out 10. That was a career high in strikeouts for Montgomery. I was here at Safeco Field. Dyson breaks his bat, fouls it away.
He's broken 3 bats today. Good thing they're heading back home. They can reload.
Maybe running a little shy. Montgomery was part of the James Shields deal between Kansas City and Tampa Bay. Dyson able to stay alive. Never made it to the major leagues with Kansas City or Tampa Bay. And then last year came over near the very end of spring training. Erasmo Ramirez was out of options, and it was a 1-for-1 deal between Tampa Bay and the Mariners. Montgomery from Erasmo, watch out.
And they hit him with a curveball.
Dyson reaches to begin the top of the ninth. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 devices. Includes a free subscription to At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Visit Mariners.com for details. Royals by 3, top of the ninth inning. Dyson at first, nobody out. And for the 5th time, we see Alcides Escobar. Couple of hits and a run scored. Jumps on the first pitch as usual. Royals have 2 on.
One of the more aggressive hitters gets a fastball in the middle of the plate. Picks up his 3rd base hit. Ball game.
It's kind of interesting when you think about the 2 opposing leadoff men that we have seen in this homestand. Altuve and Escobar.
Pick one of them.
Yeah. They're cut from the same cloth. There might not be 2 other leadoff guys in the league that if you throw them a first pitch in the vicinity of the strike zone, they're going to go for it.
And it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a curveball, fastball, changeup. If it's somewhere near the strike zone, they're ready to hit.
Time called. The funny thing about Escobar, when you think about a leadoff man, you think about a guy like Aoki, a career .350 on base guy. Escobar is not a strong on base percentage player, and yet when Escobar has been taken out of the leadoff role for Kansas City, they just don't score runs. He is, for whatever reason, the rabbit's foot for Ned Yost. Activity inside the bullpen for Kansas City. Last year they experimented. They put Alex Gordon back at the top of the order near the end of the season. That did not work at all, and they put Escobar back up there, and for whatever reason tends to work out for Kansas City. Moustakas, a high towering fly ball. Finds Aoki for round number 1. I'll take a look at our CenturyLink what's next as the Astros scrape past the A's just moments ago. 2-1 the final there. So it'll be Carnes, Iwakuma, and Felix over these first 3 games, with the A's coming up. Graveman, Sonny Gray, And then the newest figure for the rotation, Sean Manaea. That'll be his second career major league start. Boy, some tough news for Bob Melvin and the A's. Chris Bassett, who we saw in the first homestand, was acquired in the Jeff Samardzija deal for the White Sox. Bassett is having a second opinion. He's had a ligament issue in his elbow, and Tommy John could be coming for Bassett. You can see we were talking about pitching depth, Mike, last half inning, and the A's have already made a call down to the farm.
It was one of the more amazing things with the Rangers last year. They had to do it a number of times, and eventually made the trade that helped them a lot, but they're waiting on Darvish now to get back.
Darvish seems like he's pretty close. Rangers in first place without him, but they'll take him. Both runners take off. Iannetta down to second base. Tag applied, and they got him. Escobar retired. Dyson alive at third.
And a good call from the bench. They will let Iannetta know which runner they're going to try to throw out, and it was a good jump by Dyson. Probably stole it on his own. Escobar a little bit later jump and able to get him at second base.
Two outs, Dyson, 90 feet from home, and the 1-2. Foul ball. Now, Mike, Taijuan Walker got the start today. 3 runs, just 2 earned over 5 innings. What did you see today from Taijuan?
I thought he threw the ball well today. Again, we talked about it at the beginning of the game when he gave up a couple of runs, and 1 run in the second, 1 in the third. He hit a batter, a couple of jam shots, good fastballs in on the hands that both drop in for base hits. That cost him a run. And then the same thing, the base hit by Kane. He was jammed and ended up driving in a run. So I thought he threw the ball well. The other run was unearned, an error by Marte. The one thing that the Royals did was they fouled off a ton of pitches today with Taijuan on the mound. That's the reason why his pitch count was up. They had to throw 31 pitches in that second inning.
The 1-2. Got him swinging. Kane down on strikes. Dyson stranded at third base. And the Mariners down to their final 3 outs. They'll face the closer, Wade Davis. Twitter Tuesday, you'll have 5 chances to win exciting prizes just by interacting with us on Twitter throughout the game. We'll be posting questions and want to hear from you, so be sure to watch and follow us on Twitter at rootsports_NW. For giveaway rules, just visit us at rootsports.com. It'll be Hisashi Iwakuma up on the mound on Tuesday for the Mariners. And now the Mariners in the 9th might have to face Wade Davis.
And he's having a good year. You can see 7 for 7 in save opportunities. Has not given up an earned run. 10 strikeouts and 8 2/3. Opponent's hitting just 0.77 against him. Good fastball in the mid-90s. He's in a slider and a curveball. And it will be 8-9-1 do up for the Mariners. Martin going to lead off. Aoku came on as a pinch hitter and picked up a base hit. He will hit in the number 9 spot. That was back in the 7th inning, and then back to the top of the order in Marte. Moustakas, the third baseman, in on the grass at third.
First pitch strike. And Martin 0-2.
Well, pretty good breaking ball and hit it off his ankle.
The hit last night by Aoki off of Davis, only the second hit that Davis has allowed this year. He is yet to allow an extra base hit. Now 34 and the king on it's about everybody's spikes today. The alternate shoes on a Sunday home game. Felix having now tied Jamie Moyer for the most wins in franchise history with 145. You get a good close-up look there. Still 1-2.
And a pretty good fastball at 96 miles an hour.
Off the plate, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mariners down to their final 3 outs, needing 3 runs to tie. Got him swinging. Off-speed pitch by Davis, out number 1.
And it's right at the bottom of the strike zone as he swings over the top of it.
Aoki off the bench, his second at bat, is singled up the middle back in the 7th. Pops a bunt up. Perez out number 2. In the shadows for Salvador Perez, made that catch pretty easily.
It looked like a pretty good pitch to try to bunt on. Just popped it up. You can see him drop the barrel.
Two up, 2 down, and Wade Davis now facing Ketel Marte. Davis has not blown a save this year. He's been one of the best in the American League. And Marte behind 0-2. And should Marte reach, Steve Clevenger is on deck to bat for Vidal Nuno, who was put in the number 2 spot. Davis with 7 saves in as many tries this year. Ryan Madson of the A's leading the American League with 8 saves this year entering today. The 1-2. Weak ground ball. Tough play. And it gets past Moustakas. Mariners have some life with 2 outs and Marte at first base in the bottom of the 9th inning.
And they'll give him a base hit. With his speed, it would have been a tough play for him. Moustakas, even if he'd have been able to handle the hop, the way Marte is able to get down the line, he would have had a tough time throwing him out. That'll be an infield hit. Steve Clevenger going to pinch hit. Again, Mariners lost their DH, so he's going to hit in the pitcher's spot. So Gutierrez is the only one left on the bench for Scott Service.
Pretty good numbers pinch hitting for Clevenger. Hard to believe that Wade Davis started 29 games in back-to-back years for Tampa Bay. Pours in a strike. In fact, he started 24 games for the Royals as recently as 2013 before being converted full-time as reliever. And now is one of the best in the game. Moustakas, a low pick. And a strong throw to complete this one today. The Mariners fall. They do, however, Mike, pick up the series win. It is still 5 consecutive series wins for the Mariners.
Good homestand for them. They would have liked to have been able to get the sweep, but they are playing the defending champs to win 2 out of 3. Again, extending their series wins. Now they're back out on the road, 3 against Oakland, then 4 in Houston. An important road trip coming up.
Mariners playing some awfully good ball overall. They fall to now 13-11 on the season. Well, Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines kicks off right now with Brad and Bill.
Aaron, thank you, sir. Mr. Blowers, as the Royals take it 4-1, avoiding the sweep, as they said. They pound out 11 hits and finally get to celebrate. They lost 5 straight. They didn't lose 5 straight at all last year. Had a couple of 4-game skids, but not a 5-gamer in winning the World Series last year. Of course, back-to-back World Series for Kansas City. So, Bill, I guess overall, you win a series, you feel good. You win a series against these guys, including back-to-back shutouts, and you feel really good.
I think you still be really positive about the way you're playing. Another series in the books, 5 in a row. That's terrific. And, you know, you just fall behind this Kansas City club, and they got, at the end, 2 of the best guys in baseball. Herrera and Davis, 23 straight outings. They haven't given up a run between the 2 of them. So it's always going to be tough when you fall behind to these guys.
I think those 2 guys are the only 2 that can rival the back end of the Yankees bullpen. So we saw them tonight, and Davis getting the save. But back to the 3rd inning. Ian Kennedy, the starter, still in, the 6th inning. It's 3-0. The Mariners load the bases with no outs. This was their big chance, Bill, as Seth Smith comes up and gets himself another knock, a hustling knock to first base.
Yeah, he's been the real catalyst, particularly at home and actually all season long.
Cano had a couple of hits as well. That was when he was DH, not the second baseman, still the DH. So we got 1st and 3rd, Nelson Cruz coming up, and they really wanted no part of him.
They've been really careful with him. Off the edges, they've hit him a couple times in the series. Yeah, you got the bases drunk here, you're looking for big things. They bring in Danny Duffy, he's throwing 98 miles an hour. Dale Lee didn't quite get it tuned up quick enough, he gets punched out. And this is a wicked 1-2-3 with a nasty slider to Kyle Seager. That's a tough at bat right there, a lefty throwing like that. But the Mariners find a way to chime in. Nice inside out swing by Iannetta to get the base hit, and then one of those Gold Glovers picks it up. Lorenzo Cain with a cannon to get Cano. It's a good chance right there. I think Candel are trying to send the runner right there, trying to make something happen, and it just didn't translate into a run. But honestly, they went after it best they could. I mean, bases loaded, you're looking for more than one, but you know, I think a fairly good effort to try to make something happen. It just didn't quite translate into multiple runs.
3-1 at that point. You get into the Kansas City bullpen, as we talked about, very difficult to score, so you understand why Maniac, the third base coach, would send Cano at that point. But 4-1 would be the final, as Hosmer adds a home run to this one. That would be the final. We'll talk about Taiwan, a tough luck loser today. And Seth Smith just continues to get on base. A bloop, a little infield, a walk, gets on base 3 times, couple of knocks. Robinson Cano, a couple of knocks as well. 8 hits for the Mariners, just 1 run though. We'll go inside the clubhouse and get reaction before they take off on Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines.